If you have been around the sports communications department, you might have seen a couple of those students wearing matching shirts while talking about the latest high school sporting events happening here in Central Illinois. Those students would most likely have been a part of Clutch Sports, a broadcast started by two current Bradley seniors.
Larry Larson and Joey Wright have since expanded their operations, and now multiple Bradley students are helping out in any way they can. To learn more on how these two started their organization, our sports anchor Olivia Claussen is in live from the Peoria Civic Center. Olivia.
Thanks, guys. I'm here at the Peoria Civic Center, joined here with Larry Larson, co-founder of Clutch Sports Media. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, of course.
So, Larry, for those of us who don't know much about Clutch Sports Media, could you give us a brief overview?
So, the brief rundown of Clutch Sports Media is a prep sports broadcasting website that provides free video streams of Central Illinois' biggest high school sporting events. So, usually football, basketball, both boys and girls, and all sorts of other stuff, baseball, softball, soccer. We've done a little bit of everything.
I see. So you're a sports communication major, is that correct?
Yes.
Just like me. What made you want to start doing this?
Well, it was my sophomore year. I founded the company with Joey Wright, another sports comm major. We're both seniors now. We both wanted to get into broadcasting, and we wanted to do a little bit more. Our freshman year, we did some broadcasting, usually through Braves Vision and Bradley Athletics. We figured we wanted to do a little bit more, so we pulled together some cash, bought some microphones and headsets, and went out and did the thing.
Wonderful. Wow. How many people approximately are involved in this?
Well, it's grown a lot. It started with me and Joey, and now it's hard to count. I'd guess anywhere between, and it depends on any day really, probably 10 to 12. We just rotate through our main cast. Usually students here at Bradley, also some high schoolers are involved now. So it's a lot of fun.
Wow. What has been the biggest challenge, starting your own
business?
Business, essentially, yes.
There have been a lot of challenges. I would say COVID threw a big challenge at us. We were just picking up steam our first year. COVID hit. We were about to do a big basketball game. It got called off, and the rest of the state tournament got called off as well. So that really put a grinding halt to everything. So just kind of staying relevant through the pandemic when there were no high school sports was probably the biggest challenge.
And how did you stay relevant?
Well, we just did some Zoom interviews. We called up some prep sports writers from Chicago, did some Zoom interviews, posted them on YouTube, interviewed coaches, ADs, players, and just tweeted. Tried to stay relevant a few times a week on social media and use social media to our advantage. So.
Wow, of course. How do you go about what games you want to go to, how the scheduling, how do you attend, tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So, by now, we started this in 2019. We've kind of got a feel for which programs, which teams are generally good, which teams draw a lot of viewership, which teams a lot of people are interested in. So we'll generally lean towards the big matchups. So Washington Metamora, for example, is a huge rivalry. We'll try to cover as many Washington Metamora games as possible. Whenever those two teams play each other, it's going to be intense, it's going to be good. So for football, basketball, boys or girls, we try to do those games. Other games, just teams that are good, squaring off against each other. We try to kind of see ourselves as a national network, so to speak. So like Sunday Night Football, for example. Every week they pick the best game, or at least try to pick the best game. That's kind of what we need to do and try to do on any given day.
I see. Now you had a fan section competition?
Yeah. So social media, that's one way we stayed relevant throughout the pandemic, and of course we've kept with it. And now that COVID-19 is starting to decline, student sections are back. Me and Joey talked about it. We said, we got to play into these student sections, man. They do some crazy stuff every week. Started with football. We posted a graphic. Hey, send us your videos. Send us the crazy stuff you guys do in the student section. And it was kind of an overwhelming reaction, really. We got all kinds of different videos, and all these student sections started yelling at us at games and trying to get on camera. It was a lot of fun.
I'm glad to hear. What do you have to say to anyone who might be interested in potentially wanting to join your team?
Hit us up via email, clutchsportsil@gmail.com. You can find us on social media, clutchsportsil on Twitter, as well as @clutchsportsmedia on Instagram.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have.